You ready? Are you ready to rock? Boogity, 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 boogity. Look at that face. How's that? Okay, hello everyone, welcome. It's using a problem here on Tuesday. Terrible Tuesday? So, for some reason, the market was like, whoa, earlier today, and opened up way high. And then Trump said, hey, I just slapped tariffs on China. Another 50%. Fuck y'all. And that's basically where it went from there. And that resulted in the market going. The futures are way down right now for tomorrow. Yeah, the dead cat did bounce very high. And it might be dribbling a little bit. But I think tomorrow's going to be a down day. I'm currently in GME calls because with that dip, they got real cheap for next week. And I'm thinking that there's going to be some, how you say, liquidations of some hedge funds. We're going to start to see those hedge funds go down quite a lot. One of the issues that they're facing is that no one wants their bonds. So bond prices are collapsing, which means their collateral is getting even smaller. Basically, oh, sorry, let me shut the door one sec. Woo! Forgot to do that. Basically, the world is pissed at the United States of America and wants nothing to do with their debt. So normally, when the market collapses, people take their money and they put it into bonds. Because it's better to have stuff go up a couple of percent than it is to have it crash 25%, right? So normally they take their money and put it into bonds. Well, hedge funds are getting vaporized, so they have to sell their bonds to get cash to close positions, right? So that makes bonds a little bit cheaper. And when everyone wants bonds, the interest rates can come down because you don't have to entice them as much to get the bonds in. And what we're seeing is that they're trying to sell their bonds. No one wants them, so interest rates are climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing when they should be going down. And this is because the EU, Japan, China, Australia, like nobody's going to buy our bonds. They're basically just giving us both barrels here and telling us to eat it. And so Trump's whole plan of like, this will reduce interest rates and I'll be able to buy up real estate real cheap and all this stuff isn't quite working out in his favor because bond interest rates are going up. Jerome Powell came out and said today that he's not lowering interest rates from the Fed anytime soon because he's worried about inflation due to all the tariffs. The price of goods coming from China is now going to be 104% more. And acolytes of Trump who were in front of the Senate today could not explain why they were putting tariffs on nations where we had a trade surplus, like Australia, who is an important economic partner, important defense partner, security partner, whatever you want to call it. And we actually sell more stuff to Australia than we buy from Australia, and yet we still slapped a 10% tariff on them. And they can't answer it. They have no answer for it because they're a bunch of dumbasses. And so the market's going to continue to shit the bed as we obliterate our GDP, basically. Small businesses are absolutely hosed. There's small businesses that toy shops. People sell widgets on TikTok. Like, they're now doomed. And a lot of these folks, they paid for their products that are being shipped across the ocean, and these tariffs went in place, and now the products are arriving at the ports, and they're expected to pay tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars more to receive their products, get them released from the ports, and they don't have the money to do that. You know, if you're like, hey, I got a budget to buy $100,000 in toys from my toy store, right? And you buy the $100,000 toys from your toy store, and you hope that it'll arrive in time, and it gets here, and you now owe another $100,000. Who has that kind of cash laying around? And with the liquidity crunch, you're not going to get any quick loans from any banks to do that. What's going to happen is these small businesses are just going to disappear. Blink of an eye, gone. And no one's going to be able to take those retail spots in little towns all over the country. And small businesses, the employers, their commercial real estate will just go belly up along with all of the office space real estate that's already dying. We are really compounding this problem unnecessarily. And what's amazing, you got guys like Bill Ackman and Ryan Peterson and Ken Griffin and folks that supported the Republicans and Trump and all this. They're like, I know who saw this coming. Everybody. Like, how long have we been talking about this? Years. Monkey, it doesn't make any sense. Like you talk to them and they're like, no one could see this coming. Well, yeah, we saw this coming. Harris was mentioning it in her debates. Duh. Right? Well, he didn't mean it. He did, obviously. It's just a negotiating tactic, and now no one's negotiating with us. One of the senators today pointed out that negotiations for the UMCA, the United States, Mexico, Canada agreement, took 2 years. That's 2 nations. 2 years with 2 nations to negotiate and ratify, and then we just violated it by slapping tariffs on those countries anyway, right? And now we got supposedly 50 countries have approached for negotiations. Oh, that's going to go quick. Do you have 50 negotiators? No. You have the dumbest people in the entire world who would be on the other end of that negotiation, and they don't know what they're doing. If they knew what they're doing, they wouldn't be working for Trump. So, the adults are no longer in the room. This administration is run by a bunch of meatheads and silver spoon morons who were born on third base and thought they hit a triple. And it's so dumb. Dumbest timeline. Nothing but problems. Oh, it didn't happen. Go. Okay. Ooh, slappy butts. Okay, let's turn it off. It is. Oh, no, it's not. There it is. Okay. What do you got for me? What's on your minds, folks? Tropic first. Good job. Tropic, I've been waiting my entire life just to say that. Are you 4 years old? Because I've only been doing a show for 4 years. I just realized, I think, was it yesterday? Was the 4th anniversary of being on The Gist, which kind of launched me having a podcast. So, Josh Hamilton, hello. Call me. J-Dog, congratulations on the easy feat. Good job. And Gemini Houston. Apparently, more tariffs are going live tomorrow. Time to load up on your puts. Probably. I mean, it wouldn't be such a bad idea to have had puts going for tomorrow. I only have teeny bits to play with here and there, so I've been basically doing one play or another, bouncing back and forth between those. So I'm in GME calls at the moment. Got almost at the dip. So close to the actual bottom today. Oh, I like it when I can do that. Ferris F, Wind Moon, GME. We might get a blip next week. If hedge funds are getting vaporized and they're being forced to close positions, then there could be a blip next week. Beyond that, that's up to Ryan and any announcements he has. People are speculating that Goldberg on the BBBY side is not announcing the amounts from the settlements from the shippers and the board and all the lawsuits he's done until he has them all together. That way, folks won't individually know what the cash results are of these settlements and won't be able to use that as a negotiating tactic for further settlements. That makes sense to me. I choose to believe that. So, every day we're a step closer, but oh my gosh, it's just taking forever. Forever. Murphy Turf Studios, Houston, happy birthday. Would circuit breakers actually help on this decline if it hits the 20% or whatever and closes for the day? Will it not be just as bad the next day? I don't see Trump folding. My guess is it closes for the day. Futures have it go further down. Opens up the next day even worse. Because the Fed's not stepping in. The Fed's like, no, we can't do anything about this because if we inject money into this, inflation will get even worse. So they can't do anything. They're stuck. This is all the White House being dumb and single-handedly destroying the global market. One man One man is now responsible for destroying the entire global economy with a series of stupid, really dumb, stupid decisions. Now, if you look at the goals of the White House here, Trump, there's this guy Morin, Morin, might as well be moron. He postulates, he's an Austrian school guy, he postulates that if they slap tariffs on everybody, and then they start to threaten to withhold military security around the world and threaten our allyships, that they will be able to force the planet to forego their 10-year treasuries and instead invest in 100-year bonds and crash the U.S. dollar value. They want to crash the dollar because they want Americans to be cogs in factories rather than earning a bunch of money doing service sector jobs. They want us to be unprofessional, sheet metal stampers in a factory, and that's their goal. The problem is that they never considered the social impact to our now former allies and trading partners, in that we piss them off, they want nothing to do with us, so rather than investing in 100-year bonds, they're divesting of everything. And they don't want anything to do with the United States. China really holds some weight here. 8% of the Chinese GDP is dependent upon the United States, but 40% of the things we import come from China. So, if you're gonna build factories in the U.S., we don't have the tooling or the machine builders here to actually build the factories. The parts are going to have to come from outside the country anyway. So you're going to be importing parts to build these factories. The factories are going to be really expensive. People in California who suffered the fires, they're now seeing tariffs of 50% or more on lumber to build their homes. Their homes, are skyrocketing in cost, which is outpacing the payouts from insurance companies, which means the homes may never get built. Or if they do get built, they'll be not the equivalent home that the people are living in. So there's going to be reduced quality of life for folks who suffered through those fires. So it's all so stupid and so unnecessary and so short-sighted and so ignorant. And it's all coming from one orange clown. And there's a solution. There's definitely a solution to the problem. We'll see if that solution ever gets enacted, but there's a solution. And I'm sure 80% of the globe will be behind that solution. And whoever does that solution will be lifted onto the shoulders of many. But that solution exists. So yeah. And on I'm off. Super chats. Can you remove a president for tanking the world? He should be removed via the 25th Amendment, but I don't know if J.D. Vance is going to be any better. The problem is that J.D. is a follower of Curtis Yarvin, who designed the plan of crashing the U.S. dollar, installing a monarch, making everyone work in factories like little fiefdoms, and that's his guru. That's the guy who has Michael Saylor's ear, who has Elon Musk's ear, who has Peter Thiel's ear. These are the folks who are the money behind this entire thing, and they want a tech bro king to lead us because obviously they know so much more than everyone else. The problem with the tech bro kings is that they've never taken a humanities class in their entire life, and many of them are these silver spoon morons whose rise to power is more of a reflection of their daddy having money than any actual work of value that they produce for society. I mean, they're vaporizing their own companies in the backlash to this stuff. You've got the EU is now going to ban Visa and MasterCard and American Express and PayPal and Square and everything else. Without PayPal, what the hell does Peter Thiel have? If Palantir can't get contracts with other countries, boom, they're toast, right? So it's kind of a doom cycle they're putting themselves on. Alternatives to Starlink are coming out. We've got European equivalents, we got Chinese equivalents, we have Japanese equivalents. We have Jeff Bezos launching his own equivalent this week. The Kuiper satellite network. It's just a silly, stupid, cutting off your nose to spite your own face. Bill Burr had a good point the other day where he's like, "You have $1 billion. What the hell do you have to be mad about?" It's true. You have $1 billion. This system that exists somehow enabled you to become among the richest people in the world, you tech billionaire douchebags. And here you are, bitching and moaning about everything. You have nothing to complain about. Nothing. Not a single goddamn thing. Elon Musk is like, empathy is for weak people, and then he cries up a storm when he goes live on his little computer to play a video game, and people keep killing him and making fun of him. He's like, meh. It was pretty funny. You will die alone. You killed the country like you killed your marriages. So yeah, they deserve every bit of ridicule they get because they might have a lot of money, but they don't get to have our admiration. We can just give them the finger, yell at them, whatever, because that's all we have right now until their companies die and they're as poor as us. So here we are, just navigating along. Chris Taylor, this whiplash is hurting my neck. Yeah, back and forth with the market. Anonymous all super chats. What dollar amount do you think we margin call hedge funds? I think it will depend on the hedge fund, depend on their liabilities, whether they actually hedged or not. A lot of these hedge funds have done no hedging. They're like, we have bonds and we have blue chips and we have a 30-to-1 margin level and we don't know how to do anything else. We took all of our extra cash and we use it to short Bed Bath & Beyond and Sears, and we don't have anything to buy puts on the market. I think that's kind of where a lot of that where it is for them, and now because their liquidity's gone, the collateral's gone, and their obligations have exploded, their liabilities have exploded. They don't have any extra cash to benefit from a crashing market. For some reason, folks saying 6, 8, 10 months ago that Trump's elected, the market's going to crash, did not sink in. Just look at what Warren Buffett did. He sold everything by like October. He was like, this is probably as good as it's going to get. It went up a little bit after that, but he's just in cash. And once the whole thing collapses and goes, he'll be in there to scoop up the entire market with his $300+ billion. He did it right. I sold every bit of my 401k and my IRA back in January. Every piece of it. It's just sitting cash right now. If this hits a bottom, which might not be soon, it will probably be later. Then I'll buy back in and scoop up what I can at that bottom. But I'd rather have my cash sitting there in a money market account earning 4% than losing 25%. I don't have to worry about commissions anymore. Like problems back like in '87 when the flash crash happened in '87, the Black Monday. Was people were panic sold and they paid out huge commissions to their brokers, and when they bought back in, they paid huge commissions to their brokers, and it just evened out in the end. Now we don't have to worry about those commissions because of all the payment for order flow crap and everything else. It just sort of happens. So you can easily sell, sit and wait this one out, and then buy back in. Vanguard sent out emails to everybody, was it yesterday, day before, being like, don't sell. Whatever you do, don't sell, but invest more even. And like US Bank did the same thing with their customers. Like, oh, it's a great time to put more money in. Please don't sell. They know they're all doomed. They have all these hedge funds and family funds that are under them, who they are prime brokers for. And they know that the liabilities are on hand and that those liabilities are going to result in having to use a whole bunch of depositors' money from their checking and savings and all the other accounts to pay for the shit show these guys have created. And I bet they're all quaking in their boots. It'd be really smart to, like, if you were at one of these banks, to be like, I'm going to take a retirement or look for a new job and then leave somebody else with the bags. So Yeah. It's yeah. So basically, my play money is for playing puts and calls and riding these things up and down. I've been doing okay. I really wish I could hit those swing trades perfectly, but sometimes you just don't. Like that stupid Walter Bloomberg tweet yesterday killed all the action. I was up 5K and all of a sudden wasn't. Walter Bloomberg, you bastard. What does Teddy Wall Street Journal have to say? Low B, Super Chats. Oh, good. It's that kind of show today. Bill Coin, Super Chats. All the world has to do is wait. And that's what I think a lot of them are going to do. Is that I think some of these companies overseas, they're like, look, there's 330 million customers in the United States. There's 8 billion customers around the world. The growth is in the rest of the world. And we can just wait until, he's gone. And then whoever replaces him will cut all the tariffs and we'll go back to normal and it'll be business as usual. And they're just going to wait it out. It's going to take as long to build the factories here in the US as it does for them to just wait it out. And even the factories that are here are being punished. Like, people in the admin were complaining about the BMW factory in South Carolina, which is the largest BMW factory in the world. It brings in $26 billion a year to that community. And they're complaining because some of the parts are made in Germany and shipped over then assembled here in the United States for BMW's largest car factory. Yeah, dude, that's how a global supply chain works. And BMW, rather than investing more into that factory, may just pull the factory entirely. Because what's the point in paying living wages to a bunch of people in South Carolina when your cars are going to get taxed like crazy anyways, and you may as well just have your factories all back in Germany again. Other countries are going to get protectionist too. They're going to be like, yeah, screw this. Screw you, America. Screw you, South Carolina. You voted for this, you bunch of buttholes. That's basically what it's going to come down to. It's silly. It's silly, Bill. Chica Shukla. Hard part is knowing the bottom. I'm all cash too. Yeah, I mean, I think the bottom will come around when the problem is finally solved. Then it'll be nothing but up after that. So, right, monkey? Right? In similar news, no evidence has been turned over to Luigi Mangioni's lawyer yet. It's been over 100 days, and they've received nothing from the prosecutor. So this case might get tossed by the judge. Hopefully with prejudice at that. Okay, where are we? We did Murph and Turf. We're with, okay. David Wright, happy birthday, Houston. Any advice on timing puts? I always seem to miss the best times to sell, roll them. I mean, the best thing to do is, hey, I'm up 300%, let's sell, right? But the problem is that little voice in the back of your head goes, maybe it'll go more. And usually when you listen to that little voice, that's when it reverses and you're right back where you started or worse. So, if you have to be up 300%, the smart thing to do is take the money. If you're an account that you can get penalized for day trading, a great way to build up the $25,000 limit is when you have a win, you're at 300% victory on that thing, you sell, you take half or more of those winnings, you put them into something stable. You can just keep it as cash in your account because right now the cash can earn a bunch of interest. So you just build that up, right? You put in dividend stocks, whatever you want, I don't care. GameStop, more GameStop shares, and then you can play with the rest. And you get your 300% win, you take half those winnings, you put it in, and you start building up. And eventually, before long, you will find yourself with $25,000 of something in that account. And if you get the $25,000 something in that account, now you can day trade all day long. Another great trick is if you plan on doing like one trade a day, maybe 2 trades every other day, so you keep within those 4-day trades a week, by making your plan the night before. And sometimes this can bite you in the ass. If you bought a bunch of puts last night for the SPY, let's say, thinking you're going to sell today and avoid that day trade. You woke up and the SPY was going crazy. You're like, oh, shit, right? You got a little bit back towards the end of the day when Trump doubled down on tariffs for China, but you probably still didn't win the way you thought you would. And there'll be one step forward, two steps forward, one step back type situations that happen all the time. But at least you'll have the rest of it locked away in something a little more stable, the GME or whatever. And then after a couple weeks, you might actually be at that $25,000 level, and you can make all the day trades you want to your heart's content. Don't make day trades with that $25,000. Keep that there. Make day trades with your excess cash after that. So, Wait, is there a chime hitting when super chats happen? I did not realize that. I don't hear it. Is there? Oh, the alert box is on. I thought the alert box put an image up. So, alert box is off. Wonder if is main cam audio input. If I put that on, audio input, main, after dark, daytime, intro. Did that chime? I put it back on for a second. Chris Taylor, did that chime? I don't hear it. I don't have the speaker. That guy, those guys are off. I don't have my headphones in. So if I turn it off, oops, not that one. That one. Okay. If I turn it off, I think it will not chime. Back in the day, I tried to put this thing in, and when someone would like subscribe or make a super chat or whatever, it would chime for everybody, and then an animation would happen, and I could never get the chime to shut the fuck up. So, okay, so, it's doing different images now. That's not the image at all. Custom mode sound volume. Make the sound go way down? Maybe that'll do it. Okay, did Julio's chime? If not, I can try again. Turn that on and see if... I don't know. Did Julio's chime? I had it off with Julio. Nope. Okay. So now I put it back on and let's see if it chimes again. And if the animation happens. I don't know. The animation should be right about there. Over Zach's ad for his poem book. Which is poem book. It's very good. It's good now. Okay. Well, it's on. We'll see. See if it's still good. Put the volume like way down. And I don't know if it will. Did it stay that way? There's different sound volumes. Oh. They'll have to go down. Okay. YouTube Super Chat. Oh, YouTube Super Chat's still up. Okay. That's down. Follow volume is off. YouTube membership. Oh, there's different volumes for each one. Oh my goodness. Subscription, that's YouTube subscribe. Okay, that one's there. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, won't we? Okay. I'm distracted. What's happening? Where am I? Snare alert, Houston. The new place looks pretty good. Thank you. I still have a little more stuff to do. And, yeah. And Julio says, you'll never reach the show chats. Probably not. We're rambling. I'm messing with the sound box things. And I don't know if that one chime. Feels like we're all winning at Houston's casino. Everyone's a winner. Watch Houston get so mad at things. Video brand. I'm here, but not really. Putting a fuel pump in and filters on the truck before it gets too late. Nice. Hit the like button. You can even do it before the stream starts. Excellent. Brandon Wells, what's up? Do you think Ron will do now? now that Nolab's under $1 again? I don't know. I chit-chatted with him very briefly the other day, last week. He's like, oh, the call's coming in, I'll call you back. And he never called me back. So, I'll still try to get him on the show. Explain what's going on. I chatted with him about blockchaining the stock and sent him stuff about T0. That might be, I mean, it's worth a shot, right? You blockchain that sucker, makes it impossible to naked short. And, you know, he mentioned that he got an assessment done on the IP and it's worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And he wants to be like, hey, market, this thing's worth a fortune. Why are we trading at $2 million market cap? What is wrong with you? And so I guess we'll see where it goes. But I think blockchaining it, offering crypto dividends, something to mess them up a little bit to get them to back off is probably the way to go. I know that they've got some people who are active in crypto because when those silly, stupid NFTs were a thing, they minted some and sold them for millions as a way to like raise funds without having to sell stock. And it worked. I mean, they raised like $10 million selling NFTs into the market just to raise some funds to finish research. So they know how to do crypto stuff. So by all means, go into T0 or something similar. And Brendan Wells, sup BBBY. I did a little BBBY update. It looks like lawsuits are getting settled like crazy. So look for news on that eventually or specifics. Wait Wild, Houston, hey bud. It's too late. I'll watch tomorrow. Feel free to share my email with Ron to the group. Good night. Oh yeah. Sent that to me via Instagram? Where he sent it? Come on. What did Instagram sent to me? There we go. Okay. So this is what We Wild sent. Hello, Ron. Are you going to do anything about the stock price? In bold letters. Do you even care? Do you even notice it? Are you aware that your company is on a death spiral thanks to that idiotic consulting group you hired in your infinite wisdom? Get rid of those jackals who are only there to take your money, short the shit out of your company, and give themselves huge bonuses in the process. They're profiting 3 times while you lose your company. Hundreds of people lose their jobs, and we, the investors, lose our money. You're supposed to benefit us, your shareholders. Make us rich and happy, and not make us lose money because you're being an absolute tool. For fuck's sake, get your head out of your ass and do something to save this company so that... I gotta zoom in a little bit here. My eyeballs are old. So that many of us bought our shares because we believe in it. Do what is needed and do it now before Nolab reaches $0, and we lose a lot of money while you keep sailing away with your billions of dollars. Do you have any idea how fucking frustrating it is to see you wave off the shareholders meeting only to screw us over with a reverse split against our wishes because it's the easiest thing to do? That requires no effort from you to actually do, but something creative or brave or, God forbid, against the plans of that Trojan horse consulting group that you brought in your infinite wisdom for God knows what reason, because you're really serving them. And again, why? Only then to see the stock price plummet on a daily basis. I'm not a rich man, not even close. I don't live in the States, so every dollar I invest, I have to work 4 times as hard to get because of the exchange rate. And despite all that, I truly believe in your company, enough to invest $7,000 US in it. And you're pissing it all away. Do something, Ron. With endless frustration, anger, sadness, and disappointment, We Wild. I mean, I get it. Like, I think from our conversation, he sounds as frustrated as anybody. I know he's aware of short and distorts, but I think not aware enough to know that Lind Partners is a huge problem with that, where they got their death spiral financing from. I don't think he thought of it as death spiral financing. That these guys will short the crap out of the company with those convertible bonds, and here we are. I get it. Okay. Triziger, Wayne Houston, right now. Matthew Jackson, your brother is a maniac online. He's great with MLTOP posts. That he is. Matthew Jackson, if you had to get yelled at, who would be your choice? John Taffer or Gordon Ramsay? I don't know John Taffer. John Taffer? Do I recognize him? Oh, that guy. I recognize that dude. Huh? He's 70 years old. Gordon Ramsay. I think Gordon Ramsay's like, I think more phony angry. Like if you watch Gordon Ramsay's British shows, he's not this angry douchebag like he is in the United States. I think you know, I'd rather get yelled at by Gordon Ramsay because I've seen him make terrible Thai food, and so I could rub that in his face. Thai chefs are like, what is this garbage? So I think Gordon Ramsay, rather than like John Taffer, who seems to me like a Goomba who will have me disappeared. Legacy and Productions, Houston. Do you think the SPY can go any lower this week? Yes, I think we can close below 500 easily this week, and we probably will open below 500 tomorrow. We opened below 500 yesterday at 483 or whatever. So yeah, there is a long ways to go. I lost my spot. Where did we go? That was okay. Like I said, Productions GME calls this week. My GME calls are for next week. Implied volatility for some reason is still really low, even though volatility's been happening. I've got a bunch of 25 fives because it hit 24.90. I think was the peak today before it crashed down with the rest of the market. That's enough. If it does that again, I'll at least double what I put into it. If it goes higher than that because liquidations happen, then we're on easy street. So yeah. Louis says, if you ain't first, you're last. Post some stickers. VIX calls are printing, says Don Shadem. That they are. Snort alert, US dollar yen is losing ground again. The one benefit that the carry trades have right now is that US Treasury notes aren't losing ground. The interest rates keep going up. So one of the problems, lay out the yen carry trades. For a long time, you could basically borrow money from Japan for 0%. So you go in like, hey, I'm going to borrow $1 billion. And they go, here's $1 billion. And you get it at 0% or very low interest rate, close to 0%. You take that $1 billion, take it to the United States, and you buy a bunch of US Treasury bonds or stocks with it that have between 5 and 20% growth. And you make a bunch of money. You pay off your interest rates, meager ones you have in Japan, if you have any. And then when the bonds are due, you then just pay them off and keep everything else. Well, Japan started raising rates and the United States started cutting rates. And this all of a sudden made an imbalance where like, oh crap, I'm earning less money than I'm paying in interest. I got to close my positions and get the hell out, which caused that crash in August of this year. The yen is losing value. Yen is losing value, and so it's gonna take more yen to pay stuff off, and interest rates were dropping and are now kind of going back up again. So we'll see if bond rates here are higher, and that keeps the yen carry trades being closed out. If for some reason people want to start investing in U.S. bonds again, that'll cause rates to drop, and it might result in the carry trades exploding once more and then compounding all the problems. It was estimated that there was $20 trillion in carry trades at one point. That's ridiculous. I have no idea how much of that got closed out in August, but that's a lot of money. A different line, Houston. Lots of bad economic data on the back half of the week too. CPI and PPI in particular, I think, are going to be quite bad. Oh yeah. Well, for one thing, oil prices are dropping because that's what happens when the economy collapses. But that also means that oil jobs are going to vanish across the entire whole of the United States, and they're going to be capping wells just like they did in 2020. And people won't have the money to travel. They aren't traveling. International travel to the United States is non-existent because nations are warning about international travel to the U.S. Folks that come here for conferences are finding themselves screwed. People that leave to go to a conference in Europe and come back are finding themselves screwed. That poor Russian academic who went to a conference in Europe and came back, and then she got seized. And she's a anti-Putin a person who escaped and was given asylum here and a job at Harvard, they're not going to send her back to Russia to get probably tortured and murdered. Because we're a bunch of assholes now. We're the baddies. We are the bad people doing bad things. You know, that poor guy who was abducted from his family and sent to that Ecuadorian prison based upon an oopsie, an administrative mistake. He's never coming back. Basically, the White House said, yeah, there's no way. Once they're there forever. He won't come back. So we doom this man to a lifetime of prison based on an administrative mistake in what essentially is a giant torture facility. And we can't get him back. And they'll want him back. If he comes back, he will tell you what life is like in that thing. And this administration does not want that news out there. They don't want people to know just how horrific it is to live in that hellhole that they sent him to. So they're not going to make an effort to come back. That man will die in that prison, never having contacted or see his family ever again, based upon an administrative mistake by these clowns at ICE. 75% of the folks that they deported on those planes had no criminal record. And almost all of them were here illegally. So, like, it won't matter. It won't matter that you have a green card or a visa or even at some point citizenship. They'll just denaturalize you, say you're here illegally, and ship your ass off. They don't like you. You know, they detained a Lansing, Michigan lawyer who came back from vacation with his family for hours, demanding his phone. He's like, no, I'm a U.S. citizen. Fuck off. Get a warrant. You can't see shit. And they held him for hours and hours and hours and hours, trying to intimidate him into giving up his phone, his client list, because he defends freedom of speech protesters. And, these are baby steps towards a much, much worse future for us. So, yeah, there needs to be a way to solve that problem. So let's solve it. Trump also, he's going to be spending $130 million for a military parade on his birthday. So we're going to celebrate Trump's birthday, Kim Jong-il style, and have all the tanks drive down Pennsylvania Avenue, absolutely obliterating the concrete and infrastructure that's there because it's not designed to handle tanks and whatnot, so that Trump can go, yay, tanks for his birthday. Fuck that shit. Let's Tiananmen Square and stand in front of that crap by the millions, so those tanks don't get to parade in front of Trump. Seems let's rain on his parade for his stupid goddamn birthday. Dumbass militaristic authoritarian bullshit. Oh, let's have a bunch of missiles drive down the street because we were the fucking Soviet Union circa 1978. Like, no, this is dumb. This is so stupid. Everything about this is stupid, and everyone is so powerless to do anything about it. It's so frustrating. Like, I'm currently applying to teaching jobs in Canada. So if you're a Canadian working at a Canadian junior college or something, and you know that there's physics and astronomy role, I'll move to Canada. I'll get the hell out of this shithole. Because it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And just Monkey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You just have to listen to me just prattle on all day long about everything. It's absolutely so stupid and so avoidable, and for some reason we didn't avoid it. Nothing that blows my mind is that, like, all the bad things are happening specifically because there's some assholes out there who really just wanted to say the N-word and not get in trouble for it. And that was the basis of their entire ethos. And now bad things are happening to them. They're like, I didn't vote for this. Yes, you fucking did. You voted for this. Your 401k blowing up, your parents eating cat food 4 months from now, everyone losing their homes and housing and jobs. You voted for this. It's just you had one concern on your brain, and that was to be able to call black people the N-word and not get in trouble for it. And the thing is, you can call them that and not get into legal trouble for it. They might punch you in the face. And you know what? They're still going to punch you in the face. So, like, you basically sold out your entire quality of life for something that's still not going to happen. And all that's going to happen is when this is all said and done and we finally fixed all this crap, is that you're going to be painted as a pariah to society and you're going to be canceled anyway. Because fuck you, that's why. Like, you know, I mentioned that article from The Economist. Iggy, did you send that to me via which chat? I have so many chats, I can't keep track of anything. Was it this one? It was the banker one, so I gotta scroll back probably. Where are you? Where are you? Come on, Economist. Was it here or was it in the other one? All right, I was talking about root beer. Oh, this one here. Financial Times. Sorry, Financial Times. So this is from Financial Times from behind a paywall. Okay, I gotta copy that. I gotta go to 12foot.io and I click there and then I paste that in there and then we clean web page. Nope, that just takes at least there's a son of a bitch. Gotta scroll back up. Iggy. Gotta scroll back up. Nope, that's the root beer thing again. And did I go too far? Yeah, crap. I may have gone too far. Oh, go down. Go down. Take me to the Financial Times. Financial Times. Financial Times. Where are you, Financial Times? There we go. Okay, so this is a quote from a Financial Times article. Financiers say Trump's victory has emboldened those who chafed woke doctrine and felt they had to self-censor or change their language to avoid offending younger colleagues, women, minorities, and disabled people. I feel liberated, said top banker. We can say retard and pussy without the fear of getting canceled. It's a new dawn. Some Wall Streeters also feel comfortable to embrace making money openly without nodding to any broader social goals. Most of us don't have to kiss ass because, like Trump, we love America and capitalism, one said. Great. Guess what? You're losing money now. You're not making money openly. You're losing fucking money hand over fist as the economy plummets 20%. Or the markets, I guess, plummet. And the economy's going down 4% in 1 quarter anyway, which is almost great global financialist level. So your need to feel like some sort of manly man for being as racist and offensive as possible has resulted in you losing all your money, you dumb motherfucker. That's... You're getting what you deserve, you clowns. Just... It's so dumb and short-sighted and awful. Just look at Target. Target said, oh no, we're going to get rid of our DEI. And they lost 15% of their customers. Why? Because 15% of the population are minorities. Actually, more than that. And where did they all go? Costco. Business at Costco is booming. Memberships are through the ceiling. Wow. Like, any company that loses 15% of their market share is a dead company. That's enough to kill them. And they want to just stick their thumb in the eyes of those assholes. They said, go broke. No, the woke companies are doing fine. It's the fash companies that are not doing fine at all. Or the ones that cave to the fascist, jingoistic bullshit. They're dying. And they're dying hard. And there's going to be no coming back from it in the end. So, yeah. Fuck them. That's simple. Okay. Now where am I? That was CPI thing. Turkish want to know where the money is. It's evaporating somewhere at the moment, I think. Hazel A. Houston, glad you're back. You got moved in record time, seems to me. Well, I'm still in the process. I still have, behind me is, boxes and tools, and I had a drawer. Oh, my goodness. One of my drawers, my filing drawers, it got dropped. So the base of the drawer smashed. Everything fell out of the bottom of it, and I got a giant 4x8 sheet board to replace this thing with. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. But yeah, it's a process. I still got to hang that hand towel holder up in the bathroom. It's just sitting there next to the sink, and We'll get there. Louis, some more stickers. Daniel Olofstrom, can you please tell us again what will be the sign or signal you put up if you ever become a shill? And where will be in your new digs? We'll be right there. It'll be a Kenny G album cover. So if I ever sell out, because, I have a price. Especially right now with, if I can get the hell out of here and have like a ski in, ski out in Italy or Switzerland or Whistler or whatever. Peace, yo. Right here, you will see Kenny G with his saxophone album cover. And which one will, probably one of these ones, see here. Kenny G. Images. Boom. It'll probably be like, crap, that guy monitor just crapped out on me. Come on, dead guy monitor, you got this. Start up again so I can see what I'm looking at. There we go. So, I don't know, like one of these greatest hits, KG Miracles of Holidays. Which one? Breathless. That's a good one. Or like classic with his little alto saxophone there. Something like that. You'll see Kenny G. That's how you know I sold out. It'll be printed right there in black and white glory. And he's Garfield High School grad. He's from Seattle. Seattle boy. Oh, this was a good one too. The original Breathless. That's a good one. So something like that. That's how you know I sold out. And believe me, the price for me selling out is a lot. Like way more. If you're going to sell out, like, it should be enough that you never have to work again. Don't sell out, be like, oh, I'll give you $100,000. Because you'll burn through $100,000 in a year, and then you got to work again. And then you're tainted with that sellout ick, right? There's no bouncing back from that. At least sell out for a respectable amount of money. There's that mayor of New Orleans who got busted because he took like a $90,000 bribe. Dude, if you're going to take a bribe, each bribe needs to be enough for retirement. For the risk involved, $90,000, that's a pickup truck these days. Like, no, it's got to be like fuck off to a non-extradition country type money. So that's Monkey agrees, because you got to take the dog with you too. So private jet type money. Okay. Juice Miami, we can commence to talk to each other from this point on. There's no way Houston's going to get down this front of chat. Ha! I just got to the start of chat. So, you're wrong, Julio. But get on. His room will be filled with Martinellis. Snort Alert shirt is lit. This is a lovely Indian cotton shirt from India. It's one of my favorites. I love this shirt. It's very, very thin cotton, and it likes to wrinkle and stay permanently wrinkled very easily. Like, it's a little hard to see because of the patterns, but this front part does like to wrinkle up, and that drives me up the wall. But it's one of my favorite shirts. Hazel A, someone said the market looks like Trump's signature. Dizzy says my Jimmy May calls are on the toilet, though. I think next week we'll get a little pop. Today it popped quite a bit. We went up, $1.50? Just this morning, and then Trump ruined that all. I do wonder how much tariffs are going to hurt GameStop in general. They do have billions of cash on hand, but things like the Nintendo Switch 2, they had to stop taking pre-orders on because they don't know what the price is going to be because of these tariffs. And Ryan Peterson and Ryan Cohen are kicking themselves right now for voting for Trump because he's fucking up their businesses. If you rely on shipping and stuff that gets shipped from overseas for all your products, especially if you're physical games, like if you're a streaming or a download platform like Steam, you're fine, right? Ones and zeros can come from anywhere in the world. No one's going to be able to figure out where they're coming from. But if you are physical games, cartridges, and that stuff is all printed and made overseas, you're paying 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100% more on each one of those as they come in. So that video game that you're getting wholesale for $20, you're now getting for $40. You sell it at 60, now you're selling it at 100. So it's bad. It's very bad. So like we told him. I told him. How do you told him? And he was all Trump anyway. And getting divorced. And, you know. Yeah. So, I just hope that the MOAS prices aren't the result of runaway inflation. And instead are the result of hedge funds getting blown up. So that, you know, I'm not buying a loaf of bread for a wheelbarrow full of Deutschmarks type thing. So, you know. Spencer, I chose the wrong direction calls and had to bail on them. Missed the news about Trump doubling down on China tariffs at 10:30. Yeah, that happens. I was looking away too at that time and I was like, don't! But I did manage to get some GME calls at the bottom there. Spies at 488, says Fred Jones. So it's going to open below 500 tomorrow at this rate. Hazel says 90,000 was a pickup truck yesterday. Today it's 150,000. Yeah, pretty much. A truck that should be probably 20 grand in the first place. But COVID and everything else messes up. And why do we have COVID? Because Trump fired the pandemic response team and the USAID rapid response teams who squashed outbreaks before they started. There never would have been a pandemic in the first place if those folks had not been fired from their jobs to pay money for tax cuts for billionaires. Any rate, don't see a shade on the Fed is setting up a bailout facility for hedge funds like they did with the Silicon Valley Bank and so on. They've discussed it. I don't know if they're going to go through with it all the way or not. What they should do, they should let the hedge funds die, set the facilities for the prime brokers. And then the contingency on the prime brokers is you got to be smaller. You can't have 4,000 to 8,000 hedge funds and family funds under you taking margin. You have to break yourselves up into something smaller so that, you know, reduce the risk of too big to fail. I don't think they're that smart enough to do that, though. So here we are. And yet another economic calamity. Tired, boss. I'm tired. We got, I lived through the 80s. The 80s were garbage. And there's lots of people on Wall Street who made money in the 80s. Everyone else had a hard one. We had a recession in 91. We got through the Clinton years, which were, quite frankly, growth. I mean, people were doing well. It was going great. And then Bush came in, another recession. And then another recession at the end of the Bush terms. And then Obama built it back up. Jobs, growth. And then Trump comes in another recession. And Biden, jobs, growth. Trump comes in, immediate recession. Maybe worse. Probably headed towards economic depression. If we're doing 4% in a quarter in contraction, that's going to add up in a hurry. I mean, hell, they fired all the food testers at the FDA. These are the folks who, make sure that there isn't, E. coli in your burgers, that they can trace where greens came from to get people salmonella, etc. We're going to be poisoning people across this country. I have no idea where it's coming from. All these altruistic scientists who believe in doing good and protecting people and serving their communities are going to be jobless. But, I guess they get a job stamping some metal plates in a factory somewhere. So I guess that's what we can do with our FDA and NIH and USDA scientists and inspectors. We'll just have them making widgets for $14 an hour and dying at age 50 from preventable illness of some kind that they don't have health insurance for. So, yeah. Anonymous, how much do I need to escape the U.S. in style? I mean, it depends on where you're going to go. Real estate, you can get some decent real estate in other places around the world. Nice spots for significantly less than you can in the United States. You can go to Italy, Spain, Portugal. You can get really nice homes. You can go to Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, places in Africa. Like there's some cheap, wonderful homes to be had. In the places where it's cheaper, currently the cost of living is lower, so you're going to pay less for food. You might pay more for gas, but just get a home in a walkable neighborhood and you're good to go. So what would take $100,000 a year to live a middle class life here in the U.S. might be $35,000, $40,000 a year in a place like Portugal, where your rent is $600 a month, or you can buy a really nice home for $300,000 that has 6 bedrooms and a pool, etc. So yeah, hey, the sign is working. Is it making loud noises when that happens? And it's only showing. Oh, I got to put that thing up higher. So if I put it there, maybe that'll work. So that's sort of what you got to think about. I think if you want to live comfortably everywhere in the world and in some level of luxury, if you go to countries like the Mediterranean or Thailand or whatever, think about $100,000. If you can get $100,000 from annuities or interest or dividends, you can live a really, really good, solid, upper middle class life. On the low end, low risk vanguards that are slow and steady, you're gonna get 4 to 5% returns on those. So you're gonna need $2 million to have $100,000 a year out of that. You can find some dividend stocks that pay higher. You can mix it up with some ETFs and whatnot and probably come away with 10-15% on some of those. And if you can do that and manage to not vaporize everything with a market downturn, you can probably get away with having $1 million and live off the interest of that. If you have $1 million in IEP right now, you can earn about $250,000 in cash a year just off dividends. So that's a single stock, but who knows where ICANN's going to be when all this blows up. I know he had a bunch of short positions, and he took those short positions out probably a year too early, and I think those short positions are now starting to pay off for him. So ICANN may start to have good reporting for a lot of his quarterly reports. So, yeah. Not enough. SPX with Gurk is the way. I know Gherkin is an options master, and definitely follow him for sure. Low volume chime. So was that a good chime? Was that a good chime, Julio? Is that approvable for everybody? Oh, I got to get going. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a show. I'm not sure what time. I was planning on spending much of the day. I got to make some goodwill runs. I got to make some dump runs. With all this crap. And then I have friends that just moved here from Switzerland, and I was going to take them around and show them all the spots to go to in like kitty parks and dog parks and stuff. So I'm not sure what time we'll do a show. At some point, there'll be a show tomorrow. I don't know when, but I'll see you guys tomorrow, right? Yeah. Robert Pierpoint says you can live like a king in Southeast Asia for $3,500 a month. Don't buy rent. Rent is dirt cheap in Southeast Asia. Noted. Want to about anything to add? No? Okay. Then we're bailing. I'll see you guys at some point tomorrow for everything. Bam.